Hi guys, it's me, Jimmy Geek. So the question is that basically should you become a network engineer or you should become a web engineer? Web engineer, web developer, the term is interchangeable. In future, the most people will be a web engineer rather than a web designer. Basically, web designer professional is already dead. If you're still a web designer, move to web developer or to the software programming, or in future just become a web engineering. Web engineering is the next big term. Anyways, the question is that should you become a network engineer or you should become web engineer? Personally, I'm a web developer, but I love network. I love to work with switches, router, bridge, modem, local area network, Cisco switches. I just love to work with Cat 5E fiber optic cable, pulling the cable inside, pulling it using hub, but not properly. But if you are learning, of course, you should use hub. Basically, it's very cheap. So I love basically networking. I was born with networking, you can say. Networking is in my patient computer network. Even I have wrote two paper on basically network on local area network, and then the what is called the wide area network. When basically I wrote two paper for my BTech, higher national diploma in computing and system development. I really love networking, and the best book in the world for networking is Networking All in One. I love this book. This book teaches you a lot. If you really want to come into networking, you can just buy this book. If you really want to get started from somewhere, just buy this book. Networking for All in One for Dummies. Basically, just buy this book. And secondly, I'm a CompTIA Network Plus certified technician. So basically, it means I learn the networking stuff and then sit for the exam, and then I just pass that exam. That's simple. So I know what the hell networking is. The problem is that, yeah, I know networking. I am CompTIA Network Plus certified. But if you are in such an environment like I'm in Hong Kong, basically, to be honest with you, never ever come to Hong Kong. I'm really saying it because Hong Kong having a lot of discrimination problem. I don't know why. The weird thing is I was born in Hong Kong under the British rule, basically. In before 97. After 97, Hong Kong was handed over China, basically. That's why I hate democracy. I'm anti-democrat. Democracy is the worst thing you can get. When Hong Kong was under basically a military rule or a governor rule of British, Hong Kong was basically having no problem. There was no discrimination. But after the Hong Kong was returned to the Hong Kong people, we start facing discrimination. When the Hong Kong people come into power by using their democracy, the ethnic minority like us start facing discrimination. A lot of the people just left Hong Kong, went to basically England or any Western country. I hope so that China come to Hong Kong fast. To be honest with you, I will be better off under living China rule, under basically living Beijing rule rather than living under Hong Kong people. Basically, yeah, I will just pray that if I want to live in Hong Kong, China should come and take over Hong Kong. I'm an anti-democrat. To be honest with you, the protest in Hong Kong which is happening right now, I know I'm just moving away from the question. I will commit. The protests are happening in Hong Kong is a bullshit. Basically bullshit. The Hong Kong students basically they want stupid things. They want to elect their leaders. They have already elected their leaders, and then now we are facing discrimination. I can't find a job in network. The simple bloody question is that I can't write Cantonese. I can't write a bloody Chinese. Anyways, if I'm living in Hong Kong, I'll start learning how to write Mandarin or Putonghua rather than learning Cantonese. Yeah, if we are anyone of Hong Kong, if you want to live in Hong Kong, learn Mandarin. China is the next America. There's no doubt. China is the next big giant. I'm a pro-Chinese. Basically, yeah, I hate. I can say China on something I can disagree. But to be honest with you, I went to China many times. I will feel comfortable in living in China. If most of the people ask me, Jimmy, how is Hong Kong? To be honest with you, I really say Hong Kong sucks. Basically, if you want to work in a Western company in Hong Kong like IBM, Microsoft, yeah, you can get a job, but you need a bachelor degree for that. I don't have my bachelor degree. To be honest with you, I don't have so basically I can't. I have the knowledge, I have a skill, but the bloody Chinese company will not hire me because they will say I'm not a local. That is what kind of discrimination are happening in Hong Kong. Anyways, so let's back to the question. So if we are just wanna become network engineer in your country, is okay. The main problem is that anywhere you go, the question or anywhere you go, the main problem you will face, they will ask you, do you have experience, 6 months, 1 year experience working with a network? The problem is how you can get the experience if you can't get a job. Nobody will give you a job if you don't have experience. So how you can get a job if you don't have experience? I mean, vice versa. If I want to get a job, I need experience. To get the experience in networking stuff, I need to get a job. It's go all. I mean, basically, my real bet is that just go to your university, get a 4-year, 3-year bachelor. I don't care. Or I mean, if you have a lot of money, you can go to New Zealand, you can get a diploma at level 6, which is equal to associate degree in America, or higher diploma. Just go to basically New Zealand, go to a practical trade school, I mean there, get a diploma, and then they will give you 150 hours of practical experience. Just I mean Google New Zealand diploma in computer networks. That is the best bet. I mean, if you really don't want to get your bachelor, my best bet is go and get your bachelor and get an internship and then become network engineer. But network engineer is the future job, basically more secure. Computer web development. Now let's come to the web development. The web developer really do not need a degree. Still the Hong Kong people hate me. They can hate me with passion, but a web developer they need to hire me to get the work done. Basically, yeah, they discriminate me, but the web developer are in so much demand. Basically, I just sent few resume and then all of them nearly, I mean, reply me and then say, I mean, why not come for the interview? When I send my resume for a network engineer, nobody give me a shit at the end of the day. So basically it means that if you're a web developer, it doesn't matter discrimination, it doesn't matter you're ethnic minority, you're Buddhism, Jew, Muslim. I mean, it really doesn't matter. The web developer they need to get the work done. But remember one thing, whenever you send your resume, always send a portfolio. If you just send a resume with a portfolio, nobody will give a shit. That, I mean, before, like in last 2 years, I got that shit basically. Just basically send your resume with a portfolio. I mean, for a portfolio, you can just watch the video. In that video, I talk about how to make the portfolio. You need 6 to 10 websites. Just make the website for free. There's stupid argument going on, never do work for free. This is stupid argument. I don't give a shit. Even you need to pay. I remember for my first client, I need to pay for my pocket for his domain just to get his website under my portfolio. Basically, it was a bespoke website. If you don't know what the hell bespoke, basically a tailor website, like a pant, coat, or whatever you wanna call it, to so I think that is called in the ladies office, I mean suit, whatever the hell it is. I built a website for him, but I pay for the stock images, I pay for the domain just to get that company business and small business under my portfolio, and indeed I have did. So the basic thing is that work for free, 6 to 10 clients. After that, you can become a freelance web developer, or you can get a job, and then you can show that I did that. I mean, build some kind of super weird web app. I mean, build some kind of note-taking app. Yeah, nobody will use your app. And finally, nobody will ask how many people come to your visit. And very rarely the people will ask about Google Analytics when you go to get a job. Basically, they just want, oh, you can build this, can you show us the code? And secondly, I mean, basically get your code in a GitHub. Everybody wanna ask GitHub. Nowadays, I send my resume and then ask them. They said, do you have GitHub account? I said no. They just told me, just get your GitHub account. Now we are turning our HR department into a GitHub. I said, what do you mean you're turning HR department? Basically, it doesn't make sense to me. What the hell you mean? They said, we basically mean our HR department for hiring the web developer. I mean, they just look at GitHub. They really nowadays never look at even portfolio. You want to see the real code. I mean, did you code it or somebody code a website for you? So just get a GitHub is a website where you can put your code, and and then anybody can come and then see your code, what the hell you are, whether PHP, HTML, or CSS. So basically, we really want to get started in web development. Just get this book. This book is the worst book I ever read. Again, I'm saying this book is the worst book ever I ever read. It's the best selling on Amazon, but still this book is the best. Why? Let me clarify. This book is the worst because how many pages it have? I think more than 500. More than 500 pages. The material, the information, text, basically equal to 50 pages or even less than 50 pages. Most of this book is full with so much blank page. You can see so much images. I mean, this basically, you can say this 2-page text can be written in a half page, even less than half page. You can see so much images. So let me again clarify, this book is a worst book. If in terms of text, if you really want some kind of texty book, go get something like Dummies Web Developer or whatever you want to get. But when you're starting out to learn, this book teaches the best. This is a worst book compared to a text. I mean, for a guy like me who is already a web developer. But if you're really new, sometimes even I refer back to this book. I bought this book. This book doesn't live up to my expectation, but I still love this book. Why? Because this book teaches me a lot of things which I've basically sometimes forgot. I mean, it basically show you the code and then show you the result, like nested or definition list, DL. You can see what does the DL mean, DT mean, and then here's the code and how here it will appear. I mean, this book is really basically, I don't know how it's the worst book if you are a guy like me who has some HTML, CSS knowledge, but still you will love this book in terms of how it's basically built. This book is a visual guide, I will say, visual web developer guide. Basically, I will just say that in easy words. Basically, this book is a visual web developer guide. You can hate, a lot of pro web developer hate this book, but still they refer back. For a guy fully newbie, he will love this book. How easy this book is. I mean, this book is not complicated. This book does not go in very depth. This book talk about the syntax or HTML, like PP, the character. I mean, you can see how it's defined. Our eyes love this kind of stuff. Basically, our eyes love images, so this book is really easy on our images. But if you're a guy like me who just buy a book to get more out of it, I mean, I spend how much, I think I bought a set for 50 bucks, even it have a JavaScript and jQuery book. That book is much better. But I mean, when I look at this one, you can see why the hell you want pages, one blue page. I mean, you can put some text on here. I mean, basically you are trying to make the book fat with really less than 50 pages images. Of course you will hate this book. But if you look at it, I mean, the book that this book really give you a preview. Sometimes I really need to, I mean, visually, I mean, to understand, should I use that, what kind of listing should I use, I mean, or sometimes, for example, I really forget the size of the text. I mean, should I use the font 14, font 16? Here I can just give a quick look to it. So basically, this is one of the weird books I hate, I love. I still don't know why the hell I hate, why the hell I love. The most properly is I hate there's no basically meaty text in it. They put 50 pages stacked into 500 pages. I love this book. Is really colorful, easy on eyes. Basically, it gives you a smile when you are frustrated about the small stupid HTML CSS bug. Basically, this book is a HTML5 and CSS3. So basically, HTML5 and CSS3 is the same. Basically, let me talk about HTML5. HTML5 basically is an extension of HTML4. Basically, you can say in an easy word, HTML5 is a DLC of HTML4. Basically, it's the people make so hard to understand for a newbie. They think HTML4 is different, HTML5 different. They need to learn HTML4. They need to learn HTML5. No, you just learn HTML5. When you learn HTML5, you will learn all the HTML4 syntax. Same go with the CSS3. So in conclusion, I will say, to become a network engineer, I mean, you really need a bachelor degree and then go for your master. I will just say that if you are basically most of the time the network engineer, the people watch me all around the world basically. So the most of the time, I mean, the best bet is go to some kind of Middle East country like Dubai. You can hate that country. I mean, there's no doubt, but the main demand for the ICT, basically the future is in ICT. ICT stands for Information and Communication Technology. IT stands for Information Technology. In Middle East country like Dubai, there's so much demand for the ICT guy. I mean, for a network engineer, Cisco engineer, CC, and there's so much demand. There's so much money in it. If you wanna really, I mean, make your career, you can go to their country. If you wanna just get your career started and be successful in your home country like UK or America or Canada or whatever, or even India, I will just go and get a real good quality bachelor degree and then just try to get some experience from the internship, or basically I will just say just try to work for free. Sometimes the companies are really weird. I remember one time that one of my boss was female, she hired me, but with passion I hate her, and she even hate me. Basically, she do a lot of discrimination, and then I show him the middle finger always. But the question was that I asked her second in charge, I mean, why the hell my boss do not fire me, and why the hell she's still keeping me? I will never leave that job. She need to fire me first, basically, of course. And then the second in charge, the guy told me, basically, he said, you are one of the most cheapest guy. I mean, excuse me, he said, basically there were so many resumes on the table, you are the cheapest to hire, you are offering less money than others, that's why. So sometimes it happen even in big companies. In big company, go for the salary which is lower. I mean, go for a minimum wage salary for a network engineer. The minimum wage salary, easily you can get a job. If you hire for a salary like 4 or 5 times higher than a minimum wage, there's competition for you. A lot of the super dickhead guy, even they get their bachelor CCNA, whenever they search the job on the job monster, JobsDB, or there's so many bazillion websites for the job searching, they always go for like the $16,000, $15,000 salary. Nobody will go for a $25,000 salary. I don't know how the hell the people think you can go for a 4-year degree for a bachelor, you can give your money however you manage it, and then basically you get a degree. You can't work for a $25,000 for just for single 1 year. I don't know, I cannot understand. I can spend my whole time getting a degree without earning anything during that time of period, but after I got my degree, for 1 year I can't earn $25,000 for USD dollar. I mean, just to get the experience. No, I wanna go with 50, or I will work in McDonald's or Subway. Basically that kind of weird mentality. If you really want that respect, if you really want to be like a man, basically network engineer is a man profession. Basically, I say you will meet a lot of guys with long beard. In Cisco, there's a trend of having beard. I mean, in Juniper you will meet a lot of mature guys. Basically, network engineer have some kind of respect, like an electrical engineer or a civil engineer or whatever you wanna call them. Web developer guys are a little bit weird. I work, but I will say, yeah, web development have a lot of money. The guys are a little bit weird. I don't know how to put that. They are a little bit crazy, to be honest with you. I mean, I am mature. Sometimes I enjoy, but that doesn't mean I really wanna become the web developer. Web developer are a guy, how to say it like that. They do weird kind of fashion. I mean, they will spike their hair. What's the big deal? I mean, yeah, they are really working a good job, but they are thinking they're in a kind of fashion industry. I mean, their way of talking is different compared to a network engineer. Network engineer talk very professionally. Let's get to the business, sir. I mean, how many router you need? Should we design a small office, home office network, or how should we design your network? Should we use the star topology or bus topologies? I mean, for a web developer guy, the web developer guy are a little bit weird. I don't know how to say that. We always heard that. Basically the media perception is that web developer are nerd, geek. I do not buy that story. Most of the time the web developer are not geek. Software developer or the software engineer are geek. Web developer are a little bit weird. I don't know how to put that. Go and work in a small company with web developers, and then you will find out what the hell you're saying. Most of the time the people go to network engineer, they don't want to work in a web developer. I mean, in a web development profession. But 8 hours are they sitting in front of a computer and then find out his colleague basically he's putting some kind of weird amiibo, some kind of toys figurine like the Zelda or whatever the hell. I mean, collecting all kinds of toys, figuring the cards. I mean, that kind of stupid stuff. I mean, it's really look weird. I mean, of course I'm a mature. I will put some this kind of books or some really good. I will not put that toys around me. A lot of the web developer decks have so many toys. I mean, decks like Amiibo. If you don't know Amiibo, just Google Amiibo. Amiibo is a one kind of small toys like Mario. They will put a lot of Mario. I love Mario game, but that doesn't mean that I still play Mario game. But that doesn't mean I will just fill up my decks with toys. Anyways, I mean, this rant is really going so long. I hope you get what the but if you sometimes you really work in a professional company, there's a lot of demand for a web developer. I was just reading, my wife is from Korea. I was just trying to solve what kind of job I can get. In Facebook, there's so much demand for web developer. In Google, in what is called Microsoft, there's so much demand for web developer. If you wanna work in big companies, you can easily get a job with a strong portfolio of at least, I think, 20 to 50 website. I mean, really good, robust website. You can easily get a job there. Basically, they will require a bachelor degree, but you can bypass if you are excellent. Web development is one of the weird, basically professional where I really do not need any experience. I just need to build a website and then get, for example, if we are most of the time, if you are in a country where the job market is not good, the competition is so high, then I will say go into web development. You can build, you can prove yourself, you can fight to the top. In network engineer, there's 20 people, I mean, basically for a network engineer. So basically you can have two guys from Philippines, two from India, two from Pakistan, two from Middle East, and for example applying for in a USA company, and the rest of them are local guys. So of course, I mean, if I am the HR, I'm not saying I am, of course the guy who is trying to hire, he will most probably hire the local guy, the American. And secondly, if you're already an American, he will try to filter out and try to say, I mean, try to find out which guy is a little bit weird, we will hire him. That is some kind of stupid thing. Most of HR people want to hire the people a little bit weird because they know they will get work. If a person look really smart to you, this one other thing was told by one of the HR lady. She said to me, if a guy look really normal to us, like smart to us, we will try to basically put him behind the list. When we shorthand the list, we put him the last one. Basically, we can't find anyone who will hire the smart guy, but most of the time we want a guy who have really good knowledge, who is basically expert in his field, but a little bit weird. I mean, he will not come to and argue with us. I mean, we will just ask, get this job done, and we will say, yes sir, yes madam, whatever. To be honest with you, life is not a good place. That's why I will say go with the web developer. You can even start your freelance business. You will self-employ. Yeah, in network engineer you can start your company, but how much you need? $1 million, I mean, to start providing a services, whatever. For a web development, how much you need? $100 just to print your name card. Sir, do you need a web development service? Sir, do you need a website? Sir, do you need a web app? Sir, do you need whatever, sir? Yeah, that's simple. I'm thinking to start my own web development company. I don't know, I think in Hong Kong I will start, but Hong Kong is really becoming weird day by day. I don't know why. To be honest with you, I was talking with one of the Australian guy. Basically, he works in Hong Kong. He's in his early 40s. I was just talking about basically when he said Hong Kong people are becoming very racist day by day. Not to the people like me who is brown, but to the people like white. I don't know why. Where the hell is Hong Kong going? Now in Hong Kong, most of the courses start to become in Cantonese. Hong Kong is an international hub, but rather than teaching in English, they are starting to teach in Cantonese. Anyways, so I'm thinking to go to Korea and start my web development company there, or even I'm thinking New Zealand, I'm not sure. Basically, I have Hong Kong, New Zealand and Korea. Anyways, basically I really want to start my own web development company. And then I really want to start it big. In big, it doesn't mean I will invest a lot of money. In big mean I really need to work 20 hours a day for doing marketing, to getting the clients, or that blah blah. If I start that one, of course I will do vlog every day. I mean, how I get a client, and you will learn a lot of things which nobody will teach you in your college, in your university, in your high school. I think that's all. I think you get a good picture of a network engineer and then the web developer. Hope you subscribe to my channel. It's me, Geek. Bye.